Hello everyone and welcome to Pearls of Fisdom with Nirmal. I'm Avanne Dubash. Today we have Madhivanan Balakrishnan, who is the CEO of Apollo 24/7, and we will be diving into the future of digital healthcare in India. So we want to talk about Apollo 24/7's competitive edge, their foray into health insurance, and how they plan to actually scale in an evolving and competitive market. With growing competition from a lot of players, how do they plan to stay ahead of the game? Plus, we'll also be discussing GMV, growth, profitability, outlook, and the next big move. Thank you so much for joining in. I want to start off by talking about the Indian digital healthcare space because it's really evolving quite rapidly. How does Apollo 24/7 plan to stay ahead in a market that is becoming increasingly competitive?
So Apollo 247 is a digital native within a large entity like Apollo, which has all the facades, whether you name the 70 hospitals, 200 plus clinics, 7,000 odd pharmacy stores. So Apollo 247 is a digital gateway for this. So in our way, we are looking at healthcare not just as one area in particular, let's say an e-pharmacy or an e-diagnostic, but as a very composite platform which offers access to both our physical customers as well as digital customers. So it's one of the largest omni-platform, as we would call it. And the entire story that we are spinning is how do we keep the customer at the center and look at his healthcare not just as a transactional element, but as a care continuum which spreads across right from the wellness side of the story to, let's say, outpatients, checking out his annual health checkups, and even to home care post, say, a discharge from the hospital. So Apollo 247 is trying to build a fabric which covers all aspects of a patient's journey, both in wellness as well as in illness. And that's how we intend to differentiate ourselves. If you look at each one of our competitors, they are becoming slick in one area or the other, whether it be pharmacy or whether it be in doctor consult. 247 has this ability to actually cover all these aspects, and that's what we think is giving us the edge. And of late, I think usage of artificial intelligence, using data at the underlying core, and offering solutions which could be as personalized as possible is something which is on the anvil, and we are building that in a very strong way as we go along. And that's how we intend to keep ourselves cutting edge, at the same time delivering the traditional products in a very efficient way.
Sure, and Apollo Healthco segment includes the offline pharmacy distribution business. There's also Apollo 24/7 online platform, which has these online medicines. There's delivery, doctor consultations. There's also services with diagnostic consultation, etc. Tell us a little bit more about what kind of services are provided and what kind of a revenue driver it is for the company or the group.
The three primary aspects, which is think of it as a doctor consult, and we offer it in multiple formats. Within doctor consult, we have something called as a My Family Doctor. So imagine we are a family of 5, and if I need to have a doctor with whom I need to consult in an emergency basis, I have a designated doctor whom I can reach out to. So that's the primary ones. We almost do 500,000 doctor consults in a month, and this spans across digital video consults, appointments to the hospitals, interaction with the doctors on video for follow-up calls whenever they visit an Apollo and then do a follow-up call. So that's one primary engine. The second big one is the Apollo diagnostic engine. We do almost 100,000 tests in a month. This is a combination of both acute, chronic, and annual health checkups. So that takes care of the e-diagnostics. But the largest among the three is actually e-pharmacy, wherein we compete with e-commerce players as well as healthcare players. We do almost 40,000 to 50,000 deliveries a day. And if you combine that with our home deliveries, which we do from our outlets, we almost touches 100,000. So all the three, e-consult, e-diagnostics, and e-pharmacy, form the basis of our entire Apollo 247 platform.
Okay, so given that we are seeing, you've spoken about pressure in the past in certain markets where quick commerce players have entered, can you tell us what the outlook is and how you plan to alleviate it?
So what the pressure that we actually felt was more in terms of certain FMCG products, which we only cover as health essentials, whether it be over the counter or let's say vitamins and health supplements or baby foods, Pampers, etc. So these are things which you can always take without a prescription. And we face direct competition from some of the quick commerce. So, and if you look at Apollo 247, as well as Apollo Pharmacies, which is a combination of the Omni platform that we spoke about, we are more like a destination, brand. People come to us for specific elements, wherein because they are assured of 100% trust, they are assured of reliability in terms of our ability to give the best quality product both at home as well as at our outlets. So when quick commerce came in, I think we did feel a bit of issues in terms of our ability to keep up pace with our health essential items, which was following the traditional path that we would take for medicines. So that's where we reimagined our story, wherein we also decided to walk this path. See, Apollo 247 always had a 2-hour delivery as an emergency for acute medicines. However, when this challenge happened in certain markets, we actually worked our way around to work out a model which could enable delivery in 19 minutes for customers who want that. Why 19 minutes? Because typically over and above the 10 minutes, there are additional processes like pharmacy, prescription validation. The doctor needs to consult you before certain medicines which I cannot deliver online. So we incorporate those very unique elements that healthcare is needed because it's a very highly regulated industry. And being in online, we keep a comprehensive dashboard, comprehensive records of what kind of medicines are prescribed and how did we deliver it. So taking all these challenges in mind and using some of the uniqueness that Apollo has because of its 6,500 outlets, we built a plan which enabled us to give 3 kinds of deliveries. One, 19-minute, what we would call as Insta/emergency deliveries for medicines which you might want at a real short notice, not as a fad, but as a genuine requirement. Then we created another concept called same-day deliveries, wherein within 8 hours, within the same day, we would end up delivering medicines. This has been showing some fantastic traction even in the smaller towns. And the third one is where medicines are usually not available because an online platform has the ability to keep as high as 50,000 to 60,000 SKUs. And we should be able to ship a product from any part of the country to the area, which is a courier mechanism. So our ability to deliver a long tail of medicines became very critical. So health essentials became a part of a 19-minute delivery. So we were able to really buck the trend. We started off with Delhi NCR as a pilot market for us, wherein we checked out this entire mechanism, trying to understand the unit economics and how do we play that story. And now that we've got a reasonable handle over it, we have rolled it out to the top 6 metros, and we intend to roll it out to the next 14 in specific pockets and see how this plays out. Along with the 19-minute, our same-day delivery will go along with it. And between these two, both in terms of market expansion as well as a proposition, we should be able to have a good format out there. And what we are realizing over the last 1 to 2 months, we are back on the growth path in a reasonably good way. And we have been able to recover some of the losses from the health essential elements which we are losing to our competitors, as well as adjacent players like quick commerce in a reasonably strong way.
We also had Sunita Reddy talking about the GMV for Apollo 24/7 going to 100 crores per quarter over the next 18 months. Are you on track?
Oh, we are very much there. The GMV which Mrs. Reddy mentioned was primarily pertaining to the hospital business, which we contribute from our side. But over and above that, we are on course, whether it be to achieve our break even over by the end of Q2 or maybe by Q3 at the best. So in terms of getting our unit economics, getting our discount structure right, ensuring that we are able to marry the best of 19-minute delivery as well as same-day delivery and yet retain our ability to deliver it in a sustainable way, as well as relooking at some of the propositions within diagnostics. We are very much on course and we should be, on time to deliver on some of the stuff, that both in terms of growth, but not just growth for growth's sake, but actually a sustainable model wherein we will be positive.
And given that the platform has maintained steady growth, what is the outlook on the average daily order volumes across verticals? What are the registrations? What is the active daily user growth?
See, I'll actually look at it in 2 to 3 phases. In our earliest phase, when Apollo 247 was launched, there was first we were assisted by COVID. It was an organization which was born during COVID. and therefore we had that, we were able to build the numbers very quickly. Just within, we launched in February 2020. Within the end of that year, we were 4 million customers registered. As we speak, we are 37 million registered customers, people who download our app and sort of engage with us. And one of the most very, very effective engagement that customers do with us is through an digital asset that we have called as the PHR, which is the patient/personal health record. This has the ability to capture all the tests that you've done, all the medicines that you bought, the doctor consult, and it comprehensively puts it as in one asset. Think of it like a DigiLocker for all your health records. And not only that, it has the ability to put it in a structured way. You should be able to query it. You should be able to pick that document up. And this is not just limited to the Apollo story. It actually enables you to sync up with the Googles of the world, WhatsApp of the world, and build up those data that would be there and bring it into common things. So when you do a registration, so 37 million people have 120 million PHR records, and this is growing at a reasonably good breakneck speed. We hope to finish with maybe 50 million by end of this financial year. Out of this, we see around a million odd customers engaging with us between both our web channel as well as our app, which is what we call as the top of the funnel. And these are serious people, unlike, these are not browsing related activities. They are the people who come to us for medical content, who engage with us in through the PHR, through the pharmacy transactions, which is the largest transaction we do. Like I said, out of these, a million odd transactions that happen converts into around 50,000 deliveries on the pharmacy side, around 4,000 to 5,000 diagnostics, and another 3,500 odd consults on a daily basis. So that's how the funnel plays out for us. And besides this, we are also working on certain payment engines which will help us to build our top of the funnel much stronger. So we have very strong million odd engaged customers. And in a typical year, we have around 8 million unique customers who interact with us and build a relationship with the Apollo 24/7 platform.
Okay, can you give us some insights into the margins and profits?
See, we are an unlisted company, so let me not get into the very specific numbers, but at a very broad level, like I told you, at a unit, our business is broadly, if you were to look at the economics of the overall business, I would break it up into three areas. One, our cost of acquisition. So think of it, our ability to continuously keep getting new customers. In the early stages of Apollo 24/7's history, we relied quite a bit on digital spends, and therefore we used to spend very aggressively on the marketing to get new customers. So over the last 2 years, we have changed our operating model. We work specifically driven by digital content, organic growth, and we have this concept of an omni origination, which is people who interact with us on any of our physical interfaces, the hospitals, diagnostics, and digital, we are able to acquire them. So this ensures, we call it the omni customers. So this is something which has dramatically helped us reduce our cost of acquisition while actually getting us serious customers. Serious customers are engaged with the Apollo brand and do want to build a care continuum, as I spoke earlier. So on one hand, the cost of acquisition goes down. The second bit is the cost per transactions. The need for people to continuously engage. What we realize is very similar to what other people have also seen. Chronic customers, healthcare is not like a quick commerce wherein I need to order 5 things a day, every day. So chronic customers who typically transact with us around twice a month tend to be much more sticky and long-term customers. And we are in a very good position to actually put their health records in place, guide them at the right time. So the cost of transaction, when you get a much more steady set of customers and are not attracting them, becomes much lower. So that's the second element of the economic model. And the third one, which is the most difficult one, is the ability to deliver the last mile through the concept of, we don't have dark stores per se. We actually work out of our existing pharmacy outlets. So the unit cost of delivering the product in a very efficient way through a combination of both variable workforce as well as workforce which is committed to Apollo 24/7 is the last link in this chain. So lowering the cost of acquisition, ensuring that discounts are on broadly at the level at which markets are, and yet have a steady stream of customers who are interacting with you frequently, and finding a mechanism to reduce the cost of delivery while giving a good combination of 19-minute same-day delivery is what will help us build the margin structure. In terms of our gross margins, because we are a much bigger play between both the Apollo Pharmacy as well as Apollo 247, we might have a slight edge, but effectively unit economics comes because of efficiency and your ability to offer a comprehensive solution. The only other area that would again impact our margin structure would be something like a loyalty program, which we run very strongly. We have almost, as we speak, around 5 million customers between the offline and the online world. We call it the Circle program. And customers, they actually pay for it. They pay around $199 for an annual membership. And once they come in, there are certain bunch of services that we offer. We realize that this is a much stronger loyalty tool, increases stickiness, increases my average order value. And that is what we intend to. The moment we touch around, a reasonable size of orders and are able to deliver this, our margin structure should play out much better. And then as we speak, we intend to get into insurance because we have a huge base of customers. Health insurance is something which we are very, very attracted to. It will come over the period of the next year, and that should help us boost up our margins in a much stronger manner. Sorry, I'm not able to give you actual numbers, Anya, but this is the way we look at it.
So tell us more about the health insurance. What is the timeline? What is the outlook?
See, we are not getting into manufacturing ourselves. Apollo had this legacy of having Apollo Munich, which we divested out some time back. So we are back because, see, what are the two strengths that Apollo 247 has? It is a very strong customer base between the group in the form of a very strong digital data. And on top of it, our ability to understand the difference between a healthy customer, an impaired customer, and customers to whom insurance might not be available. So we decided to walk the corporate agency path. So we have already got the license from IRDA to put up a business. We are in the process of building the technology, which would primarily be a digital technology to begin with, but we will we are omni in everything. So we will also build both a physical presence as well as a telepresence to boost up this business. We intend to tie up with at least 12 to 14 insurance companies across the health and the life spectrum, along with the non-life companies who are in the business of offering health. We should be in the market in a reasonably strong way in the coming quarter. We'll talk about it as we go along.
And, as a sector as a whole, can you tell us what are some of the main concerns? What are the challenges that the sector is grappling with and how you plan to overcome them?
See, unlike the overall digital commerce / digital healthcare, Apollo 247, because of its huge legacy, more than the Apollo Group, which is 40 years for the hospital, almost 30 years for the pharmacy, we are reasonably good handle of the compliance and the processes. So even when we walk the path into digital, a lot of these elements, whether it be data related, whether it be prescription related, the ability to look at drugs has been in a pretty strong way. But I think as an industry, the ability to, streamline some of the processes when it comes to the last mile delivery or, the ability to operate large stores in a very, very compliant manner, something which are, non-negotiable. So while we have this history, I think people tend to, look at areas where they could sort of cross-cut, and that's something which is not very well, does not augur well for the industry. So I would believe that as we look at other people trying to get in the markets, these are elements which we have to be very careful about, not just because what we're realizing is, even if any single player in the industry were to get into some kind of an issue, it impacts the overall. And this is a very fledgling industry. While you might talk about quick commerce taking off in a very huge way, when it comes to healthcare, people are much more serious. It's not frivolous, and therefore the need to ensure the authenticity of the medicine, authenticity of tests, the fact that doctors are very well trained, they understand the nuances of this new technology, they are able to interact with, are very critical. And with data and AI coming in, there is a new challenge. There is a lot probability of people actually taking recourse to some of these tools which are available just on the internet and get yourself misdiagnosed. I think we take it upon ourselves as a responsibility, both as Apollo and as an overall industry, to build tools and techniques that will keep patients safeguarded. You must be aware about some of these huge anti-obesity drugs which are a big hit in the US. They would be available in India very soon. We just ensure, as a brand, as an industry, I think we should take care that these things are administered under the guidance of hospitals and does not get into any kind of a misuse. So these are some of the stuff that we are all working towards. And touchwood, as an industry, our challenge is, if at all there is anything big, how do we migrate more and more people into an omni mechanism? People who can work both in, people who are comfortable shopping at the offline, but also have the ability to seamlessly blend into the online. So, I mean, imagine a scenario like an UPI when digital healthcare were to go in, wherein you're able to take an end-to-end care. I mean, that is something which we look forward to. But no major challenges as such in my mind personally.
Well, that's interesting. Thank you so very much for joining in and speaking with us.
Thank you. Thank you. It was a pleasure talking to you.
Subscribe to our YouTube channel and click on the bell icon to never miss an update from Nirmal Bang.